Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Breaking news alert. Mayor Tim Mahoney for the city of Fargo says the hundreds of beds set up at the Fargo Dome as COVID-19 overflow space will be taken down because the city doesn't need it. This is what it looked like right here when all the beds were set up as an emergency hospital. But the hospitalizations in the metro are pretty consistent. Sanford Health says it has 42 COVID-19 patients in the hospital right now, and Essentia says it has at most 10 patients. This information came from a press conference the city hosted within the hour. We also learned that Sanford Health is now allowing one visitor per patient in the hospital and clinics. That's during the hours of 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sanford also released some good news for pregnant women with COVID-19. If a woman tests positive for the virus, the hospital says it has not seen the virus then transmit to the baby. Those babies are healthy. And we have new information this afternoon on coronavirus totals in the region. The North Dakota Department of Health is reporting 4 more deaths and 102 new cases in the state. All of the new deaths are in Cass County, and they all had underlying health conditions. This brings the death toll to 49. There are 2,095 positive cases in the state. 1,302 people have recovered. The state of Minnesota is reporting another 29 deaths from the virus. The death toll now stands at 777, with 635 of them living in a nursing home or assisted living facility. 9 deaths are still listed as probable, meaning there is no test result on file. The total case count increased by 645 to a total of 17,670. 12,227 people no longer need isolation. And we have breaking news just into the Valley News Live newsroom. The city of Moorhead has confirmed that cases of COVID-19 have been diagnosed within the fire department. They have not released a specific number, but do tell us that around 60% of the North Moorhead department have tested positive. Only one station has thus far been affected. Now we will have more information once this becomes available. New for you at noon, another popular summer event in the Valley has been canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. The Grand Forks Air Force Base Air Show, scheduled for August 1st and 2nd, has been put off. The show would have featured the Air Force Thunderbirds demonstration team at Grand Forks for the first time since 2010. Also new at noon, there's some good news for people looking to get outside in Moorhead. The city playgrounds are now open. You'll even have some new equipment to use. This right here was just installed at Bennett Park. The city says people are still encouraged to practice social distancing and bring hand sanitizer with them. Taking that live look outside right now, it started out real nice. Then we got this. The clouds rolled in. This is a look up in the Northern Valley, that home of economy Skycam. For what we can expect for the rest of our day, let's head on over to First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green.
That's right, Jordan. I was just about to show that to you on our time lapse here. You could see that we started off with sunshine a little after the 6 o'clock hour here in the Grand Forks area. And then quickly the clouds took over and really just worked their way throughout the morning hours and into the afternoon. Still stuck with those clouds as we are entering those afternoon hours. So conditions are still gloomy and gray for the moment. Now here's a look at what we're looking at right now. Temperatures at least are mild. We're into the 60s. 65 degrees in Fargo and in Grand Forks, mostly cloudy skies, and 63 in Fergus Falls. Now, there's some good signs here. We're looking at a visible view of our satellite picture, and I want to point out Bedette and the Red Lake area up in the northeastern part of our viewing area. Notice how we were under clouds earlier? Those have eroded away. We're seeing sunshine there now, too. And so other places will continue to watch this happen, and we'll eventually see more and more sun as we continue on into the afternoon. Here's a look at your planner, though. It may take a little longer for some of us to clear the clouds, but eventually we will. We'll see those temperatures back into the 70s today, and there's wind too, of course. We'll talk more about that and take a look at your holiday forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Authorities are still searching for the driver of the vehicle that led police on a chase and then crashed into a tree at a park. The crash happened around 1:30 at South Woodcrest Drive in North Fargo. At this time, it's unknown what led up to that chase or crash, but there is damage done to the park where it all went down. We have calls into police for more information on this. Stay with Valley News Live as we follow this story. Firefighters are again reminding smokers to put out their cigarettes after a deck fire in the metro could have turned out much worse. Fire crews were called to the apartments at 4961 44th Avenue South in Fargo around 11:45 p.m. after someone spotted a fire on a nearby deck. The fire department says the fire was small and mostly put out when crews arrived on scene. The fire did not get inside the building, but it did burn a couple of deck boards. No one was injured. We now know the name of the 16-year-old boy killed in a crash in the Southern Valley. The North Dakota Highway Patrol is now identifying the victim as 16-year-old Tanner Peterson of Forman, North Dakota. Troopers say that he was driving on Sargent County Road 4 just north of Cogswell Monday night when his car hit a deer and then rolled multiple times in the ditch. Troopers say Peterson was thrown from the vehicle during that rollover and died on scene. Shanley High School in Fargo will be holding an in-person graduation ceremony with family allowed to attend this evening. The ceremony will be at the school's football stadium. The school will be implementing a number of safeguards for the graduation, including social distancing, control of the number in attendance, and the wearing of face masks. For family and friends who can't attend, the event will be live streamed on the Shanley TV website. New guidelines from the CDC are out for states reopening during the pandemic. The 60-page document was quietly released over the weekend and includes detailed advice on key areas like schools and mass transit. As of today, all 50 states have now started easing restrictions using their own local measures. Ben Tracy is at the White House with more.
So we did the right thing, but now we have to get back to work.
At a cabinet meeting at the White House Tuesday, President Trump said he was right to shut down the country to prevent the spread of coronavirus, but said it's also now right to push states to open back up.
We're opening up our country. We're opening it up very fast.
On Capitol Hill, Democrats grilled Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, accusing the administration of rushing to send people back to work without a plan or equipment to keep them safe.
How many workers should give their lives to increase the GDP or the Dow Jones by 1,000 points?
No workers should give their lives to do that, Mr. Senator, and I think your characterization is unfair.
Mnuchin gave a blunt warning about the impact of prolonged lockdowns on the U.S. economy.
There is the risk of permanent damage.
Meanwhile, President Trump is doubling down on his decision to take a daily dose of hydroxychloroquine, an anti-malaria drug not proven to prevent or treat coronavirus.
I think it's worth it as a line of defense, and I'll stay on it for a little while longer. I'm just very curious myself, but it seems to be very safe.
But his own Vice President, Mike Pence, is not following Mr. Trump's lead.
My physician has not recommended that, but I wouldn't hesitate to take the counsel of my doctor.
During several events Tuesday attended by both the president and vice president, there was little social distancing, and almost no one wore a mask, despite the White House saying aides are now required to wear one when they're not at their desks. Ben Tracy, CBS News, the White House.
Tomorrow, President Donald Trump is planning to visit a Ford Motor plant in Michigan. Ford says it has made the White House aware of its policy that everyone wear a mask. President Donald Trump was asked if he would comply and said that it depends on the situation. In our consumer alert this afternoon, stay-at-home orders improved sales at Lowe's Home Improvement. Store sales jumped more than 11%. Analysts anticipated just a 3% increase. Meanwhile, online sales surged 80%. The company even rolled out curbside pickup to accommodate. Lowe's was able to keep its stores open because it was deemed, quote, essential as the coronavirus pandemic shuttered retailers across the country. Coming up here at noon, do you find yourself opening the fridge or pantry a bit more these days? You're not alone. We talk about curbing those quarantine cravings a bit later in our newscast. But next, Lisa Green is in with when we might be able to see some sun in our Wednesday forecast.